A very exciting day. It's time for one of the most anticipated reviews of the year, the Africa Twin Adventure Sports in the top spec and the BMW R1250GS. What's wrong, man?
Nothing.
Is dusty over here or what?
A small setup.
What setup was this?
This is the Enduro Pro Stick and Dynamic Pro Stick.
Ah, okay, the stick.
So I can get to play the bike with the bike a lot more in Enduro.
Yeah, you got the Enduro Pro riding mode.
Yeah, which I can adjust from here, settings. So I have the engine response
On
which
the
is
road.
set to road, or I can set up to dynamics. Dynamic traction control. Wheelie is not suppressed.
Optimized for
off-road tires. Yeah, so our
that's
tires are pretty off-road.
off-roadish. So what we got over here? Ta-da!
You have to wait a bit now.
Yeah, but you don't have this graphic on your bike, you know?
Yeah.
It says over there Africa Twin. You got two screens. This one is to show you the speed and the gear, and this one shows you a lot of stuff. So now it's the tour mode.
Why tour mode? You're Enduro.
I don't know why.
So
Anyway, I got to change it. So wait. Gravel should be okay. So I got
traction control.
full power output,
Yeah.
full engine brake, level 1 traction control,
ABS on the rear off.
ABS off.
On the off-road. I don't know what's
I think it's okay, this one. And this is the suspension setup, which is on soft.
So it should be good.
Yeah, it should be good. I left it on the automatic mode, and right in the middle of the
climb is
climb, it changed the gear to the second, and then the traction control kicked in, and I had to stop and
start all over again.
Yeah,
Yeah, you should keep it on manual while riding like this.
only on manual, and it's stupid because you're going bam 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 bam, and it's shifting the gear.
Yeah.
It's not okay. But other than that, it's nimble. It has enough grip. It's okay. It was really a piece of cake to do it. There's a lot of rain over there, I think. The sky is black. It's so amazing, and yeah, the guys are somewhere in the back. I'm gonna take a photo or something. No, I'm gonna take a short video just to show it to you. It's right there. What do you think about this one? riding the Africa Twin on this type of roads is like a walk in the park. Now I feel that this bike is just the way it should be. Maybe losing the DCT gearbox would help, 10 kilo less, but I don't know.
The GS is doing well. It's a huge bike, it's a big adventure bike, so this means using your legs also. It's a lot of effort. Luckily for me, I have a wide handlebar, so I can compensate every movement of the bike in order to make my way through these stones. The GS is heavier, a lot heavier, 10 times heavier. It feels like that, but it goes like insane because you have the Enduro mode, also on Enduro Pro, magic. You have the systems that are working very good for you, and if you keep a good contact with the bike with your knees while standing, also allow the handlebar to move left and right, you can go over gravel. So this can be done easily, but you have to be a bit more concentrated and focused while riding on gravel, because the bike will kind of want to get you off.
What you love and what you hate about the GS in off-road so far?
The weight. I definitely hate the weight, the overall weight of the bike, because it feels very heavy on the front end. And what I love that when I put it on second gear and roll the throttle, it's stable. The throttle, it's pushing me like insane. I got a lot of drive.
Yeah, actually on this type of roads you only need the first or the second gear. That's
exactly
it. And you have a lot of torque, you have everything right there. The Africa Twin, on the other way, comes with a bigger front wheel, which makes the difference, I think.
Yeah.
The wheel, the suspension, the setup, the overall way that this bike is built, it makes the difference when it comes to riding in off-road. It feels easier to ride it than the GS, and you got to admit that.
Yeah, it's easier to ride. It feels like an enduro bike, definitely.
Yeah, an oversized enduro bike, a heavier enduro bike, but still it comes with that type of style, and it's unbelievable. I think the Africa Twin is better in off-road because of the front wheel, and I don't know, because the way it's built, it feels easier to ride it. You can go to the same place with the Africa Twin as with the GS, but the Africa Twin feels easier to ride it. The GS...
I think you can do it a lot faster than with the GS. It feels faster in enduro, yeah.
Faster and easier. It's more friendly.
So what you love and what you hate on this part?
Well, I love that it comes with this wheel, and I love that it's easier than the GS, easier to ride. But what I hate, I still can't get the feeling from the electronics. I still don't like the traction control. Yeah, you said that the best setup is one for the traction control and one for the wheelie control, but still it's something over there. It cannot match the GS electronics, because the traction control kicks in very aggressive no matter the stage. Yeah,
so for the climbing part, it's pretty heavy to do it with the Africa.
If having climbed
a steep climb,
yeah, you have to turn it off completely, and you need a manual gearbox. I mean, it happened to me. Well, I don't know. Maybe it was both. I mean, it shifted from first to the second on that steep climb, and after that, the traction control also kicked in, and I was like, stop. I was like stopping right in the middle of the climb.
Lucky for me, I didn't have any issues with the electronics on the GS. It feels quite good. I like that I can lock the rear wheel while riding an Enduro Pro, so that's a huge plus.
Yeah, you can do that with the Africa Twin too, but I have to browse through the menu a bit because I don't know how to do it. What about the suspension?
Suspension? Okay, so the GS, it's a heavy bike, and I'm pretty impressed by the job they actually do the suspensions. It works very good. You can feel very comfy while riding on this type of roads, but I think I need some more travel on the front. It would be awesome if I had a longer travel or just a slightly bigger wheel.
Or 30 kilos less?
Or some kilos
50?
less.
Something like that.
I've noticed that the Africa Twin, it's a lot more fitted for this kind of job. The travel of that suspension, it's amazing. So you get a lot of travel, and it's a lot more comfortable to ride, even while seated. It feels good.
Yeah.
So the front end won't jump up after hitting a rock or something. That's a nice thing to have on enduro. A long travel suspension like that one.
Okay, so you prefer the Africa Twin when it comes to the suspension in the enduro?
Yeah, it feels better.
Yeah, I think they make a difference too.
Normally.
Yeah, they make a. I think they make.
And also, we forgot to mention that these two bikes have electronic suspension. We've put the one on the Africa Twin on a soft, and
yeah.
This one is also soft because it's an enduro. But although electronic, it does a magic job. Yeah, it's very comfy.
Okay.
The Africa Twin is very comfy.
I'm on the Africa Twin right now. I left the off-road and now I'm on a nice twisty road. Whew, and this bike still feels incredible, but there are some things that I don't like, and one of them is the seat because it's not too comfortable. This is the second day riding this bike, and I can tell you for sure that after going off the BMW you're gonna feel that this seat it's a bit rough with you. The brakes are okay for a dual sport adventure bike, but still you don't have that consistent bite that you get from the BMW. I'm very lucky that I have this electronic suspension because I can set it up very easy. Now I'm riding it on the hard setting because otherwise it would feel a bit too soft for riding on the twisties, but on the hard setting it feels just okay.
Riding the GS right now on twisties, it feels very good. I love this bike. I love that it's very easy to steer, it's very easy to switch direction, and also this quick shifter works like magic. It's so impressive. It's just like on my superbike. It shifts perfectly up and down every time I want to, and this enhances the riding experience a lot. I'm glad that I'm on this bike because it looks more comfortable than the Africa Twin. The saddle is a bit wider. The wind protection it's kind of superior than the one on the Africa Twin. So yeah, I'm glad that I took this bike to spin it on this twisties. It's a lovely feeling. Also the engine sound when you rev it up, it makes you smile every time you roll the throttle. But this is very important for the riding experience.
So Bogdanel, did you enjoy the seat on the Africa Twin?
You're kidding me, yeah? No, I didn't actually.
Yeah, because I know you're a seat guy. You have a problem
Yeah,
with
I have
all
a
the seats.
huge issue with the seat, and I was moving like from 10 minutes from the top of the saddle to the rear saddle because I was getting sour. It was insane. Also on twisties everywhere. I have to move a lot in order to get along with the riding because it's pretty tough to ride the Africa Twin.
Speaking of comfort, is the seat on the Africa Twin, which is a minus, and it's also the weather protection that I don't like, because the weather protection on such a big adventure bike should be better in the knee area, but that's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is over here, in fact over here in the shoulder area.
Yeah, the shoulder area and the helmet, it gets a lot of buffeting.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you raise the windshield or not, it's insane to ride it after 130 kilometers an hour. You'll get a lot of buffeting and your head will be like left, right, like ping pong.
You could fix that problem by adding some wind deflectors over here, because it's not about the windshield. The windshield is tall enough. I think it's about the thing that it lacks the parts over here. Look at the BMW.
Yeah, it has some wind deflectors in each side.
And
I remember the old Africa used to have something like that.
Yeah, and this one has something like that too, but it's on the optional list, so it's an optional pack. It's not included in this version. If buying a new Africa Twin, no matter if it's adventure sports or the basic one, you should add some wind deflectors. I think this is a must-have on this bike if you like going touring and on long trips.
Man, the BMW, it's like a car almost, because you have a comfortable
Is it boring?
seat. Yeah, because you don't have music. You don't have a CD player or something.
You should buy a Goldwing or something like that.
Yeah, forget about it. So the saddle is pretty comfortable, although I still don't enjoy riding long trips. This one, it's bearable. The wind protection, the weather protection, is very nice, very good on the BMW, because there's not too much noise coming towards your helmet. There's not too much wind. Your helmet is stable. We're speaking about these helmets that are adventure ones with beak and stuff.
Which one would you take for touring on the highway?
I would take the BMW, and this is not a personal taste. This is an overall thing, because everybody knows that the 1250GS, it's a very stable bike and you can ride it fast. I wouldn't say what speed, but you can ride it fast. You put cruise control on and you just sit there and hope to finish the highway as soon as possible. Overall, it was impressive because this bike sticks to the asphalt. It's a pleasure to ride it every time, because it corners like insane. It's very flexible, very agile. The throttle response, it's very muscular, and you feel it every time you go out of the corner. Also, the traction control went on at some point because of the rear tire, because it's worn out, and I just felt like, okay, something's blinking on the dash. I felt the same thing on the Africa Twin, but I was doing like this.
Yeah.
The rear end was like half a meter left, right, so huge difference.
Yeah, huge difference. What about the gearbox? Is it better than before? Because this
Yeah,
is...
they are improving it from year to year, so that's a nice thing, because the quick shifter works like on my superbike right now.
It's smooth, right?
Yeah, it's very smooth, and yeah, it changes every time. Before that, you had to press it very hard. Right now, it works like magic.
Okay, the Africa Twin is not far behind the BMW, but it's not as fun to ride as BMW on twisties, because there are a couple of things. First, it comes with this big wheel.
Yeah, so that kind of cuts off the stability of the bike, because it's a longer travel suspension, and this will make it a bit unstable at higher speeds.
Yeah.
So the BMW wins over here.
Yeah, and the BMW feels more nimble, more easy to turn it on the asphalt.
Also, the center of gravity is higher on the Africa Twin, because the tank is above everything, and it's a tall bike. On this one, you have the engine, which it's laying low down the asphalt, so it's easier to maneuver the bike. So.
And it's also about the riding position, because on the BMW, the handlebar is closer to you, the foot pegs are somewhere behind, and you're sitting like more towards a sports touring bike or something like that, but it's still comfortable. While on the Africa Twin, it's like sitting on a chair. So you have the foot pegs forward, and the handlebar is higher, and it doesn't feel like you're into the bike. Yeah, and yeah, it's a different approach. It feels more natural when standing in off-road, the Africa Twin, but on street I would prefer the BMW. Also, the braking power.
Oh my God, I had some emotions because I switched the BMW for the Africa, and the first time I hit the brakes because I had an emergency, I was like, oh, I won't stop. What's happening? So finally it stopped, but not as powerful, not as consistent braking as on the BMW.
The BMW has something like sports touring bike brakes, while the Africa Twin is more off-road biased. It's like a dual sport bike, something like that. They're a bit soft, so you have to put a firm hand and a firm foot also. Not necessarily on the BMW, because the BMW comes with combined braking system, so if braking the front, everything is...
do it for both wheels.
I also mentioned the DCT gearbox. Now it's not shifting in the corners anymore, so it's smarter than before. It's
a lot more refined right now, and it works magic. So I'm glad that today I got the chance to use the cruise control on the Africa Twin. I also get a hip grip, so Africa Twin is a proper bike right now. It evolves, it's mature, and it's lovely to ride it. It's coming pretty close to the BMW as performance and as optionals, which is very, very nice.
Yeah, so to sum up, for the twisties, for the curvy roads, for sporty weekend rides, which one would you choose?
Twisties, and reaching the twisties on the highway and everything. I would take the BMW because I like the stability of it.
Yeah, I think the bike is biased towards the road use, and the Africa Twin.
Yeah, we've spotted that yesterday because the Africa Twin did a terrific job in enduro. So off-road, the Africa Twin is beating up the BMW by far.
The budget now. Let's discuss about the money, because both these are expensive bikes.
Close to 20,000 euros.
In fact, the BMW is more than that.
It's more than that.
In our market, it's 21,500, something like that.
21 and a half, but you get everything on this bike. It's a fully equipped bike, all the options ticked. So
the Africa Twin, it's 19,000 euros, as you see it, with the DCT gearbox.
So it's a full spec bike over there?
Yeah, with the electronic suspensions, but if you want to add up the crush bar, as the one on the BMW, and the auxiliary lights, it will cost $800 more. And if you want to improve it with the pack for the weather protection, it will cost you more. And if you want to put the frame for the side cases, you also have to get some more money out from your pocket. So the pricing,
yeah,
it's pretty much the same.
It's growing. The price for the Africa grows as much as you add up stuff, but yeah, there's still a difference close to 1,000 euros,
something
which
like that.
Which is not that much when you speak of a bike of 20,000
yeah,
euros.
So they're pretty much the same. If you're gonna drop the DCT gearbox, it will be less expensive than the BMW, and yeah, this is but this is a personal choice. So anyway, we're gonna put the prices in the description of the video, just to make everything clear and to have a proper comparison in the price sector. It was 3 years ago when we went to Montenegro with the
similar bikes, but not this ones.
The old Africa Twin,
previous models.
Yeah, and the R1250GS back then. It was a great trip. It was such a ride, but we couldn't find any winner.
Exactly. So right now we are close to that situation again, if I'm thinking.
Yeah, because we already decided that the Africa Twin is better than the BMW in off-road.
Yeah, it's insane that we've made a 1,500 kilometer trip yesterday and today. Some hard off-road, some twisties, highways. It was very nice. These two bikes performed very well, and the overall conclusion is that the Africa Twin, it's an awesome bike in enduro. It's lighter, it feels more sporty and more easy to ride in enduro, but it cannot match the stability and the performance on road of the BMW 1250GS.
Trust me, if having to leave tomorrow on a big trip, I wouldn't know which bike to choose. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I'm on the same page over here because, yeah, I was amazed, I was impressed by the way the Africa Twin is built right now, and the changes that the designers made, how good it reacts.
Yeah, and also the BMW, it's easy to understand why it has so much success all over the world, because it's getting better and better every generation, and they're refining every bit and bob, and both bikes got close to a perfect bike. I think 99%, I don't know.
Exactly. So that's good, because hopefully next year we'll have better performance on street from the Africa Twin and better off-road performance from the BMW. Who knows?
Yeah, I think that's all for today. We should go home right now. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for the next videos.